Hi there, I'm Chris Boys, Trust Systems. I'd like to take you through how Trust Cloud can enable your journey into the cloud. We look at a simplified model of the journey to the cloud. It generally starts in the client-side environment, which is the customer's on-prem environment or their own data center. Then move into where we're residing, Trust Cloud. What we're doing is we're partnering with Crown Hosting in the sovereign data center that's known in the UK, government approved framework, and all the approved security to operate Trust Cloud. So the Crown Hosting facilities are in Arc data centers, and they're also managed by Trust Systems. So we've already got the credentials to be operating in these environments from a connectivity perspective. So that's Trust Cloud Private. And then you've got Public Cloud, which is your usual candidates for hyperscalers. So we've got Google, Microsoft Azure, and AWS. One of the benefits of Trust Cloud residing with Crown Hosting and part of that ecosystem, as well as it being government sovereign approved environment, is that those same partners are in the ecosystem on-prem to provide their on-prem solutions. So Azure Stack from Microsoft, the AWS on-prem solutions reside in Crown Hosting next to Trust Cloud and down the hall from a connectivity perspective. One of the key things that Trust have got experience in, as well as the cloud solutions for their clients, operating the connectivity within the data centers and providing secure networking between environments, so Trust Cloud and the on-prem services. There's also the connectivity between clouds and data centers to allow a hybrid cloud to be facilitated from a connectivity perspective. So typically we end up with a client requirement to move a workload from their own environment. That might be their own data center or their own computer rooms, etc. And it might be for a variety of reasons. They might be looking to move that because they've got a compelling event like a hardware refresh, end of life hardware. They need to go out and refresh that. They're looking for an alternative to move into a OPEX model, so they don't have to fork out a load of CapEx. Or they might be looking for a DR solution, or just to put a new workload in the private cloud or the public cloud as a test. So what we can provide with Trust Cloud is an operating environment to put those workloads or VMs into the private cloud and start to operate a hybrid cloud. So you don't have to lift and shift everything lock stock into the data center as in infrastructure move. You can run a hybrid mode with the connectivity between, as long as the users can access both environments, and that's where Trust can help with that connectivity. The other component then is there may be some workloads sat or want to run or best run into the public cloud. So again, extending the hybrid cloud mentality, we can provide a joined up approach to put the right workload in the right environment for the client. So for an example, you might have a legacy application that's in runoff. No point moving that, spending great expense moving it to any of the next steps along the chain, because it's going to be run off in the next 12 to 18 months. So that can stay where it is while it runs off. If you've got a consistent environment that's 24/7 operating pretty consistently in terms of space and usage, that's often more cost effective to run on a dedicated environment like Trust Cloud. And then you can put your flexible workloads or your cloud native onto the public cloud. So you've got the right position for your relative workloads, and that varies for each customer. And Trust quite happy to work with the client to work out what the best policy is, and then what the strategy is in terms of moving to the cloud, whether it's getting confident into the private cloud and just moving to an OpEx, or looking for the benefits of public cloud as well, whether that's in a true hyperscaler, or whether it's in the on-prem versions of the hyperscalers that also sit in cloud hosting. You want all your data in the same location. So where Trust Cloud then leverages the technology is we've partnered with Nutanix. We provide a hyper-converged environment so that the storage and the compute is condensed. So the sustainability of the cloud hosting facilities in terms of colo technology being efficient is then compounded by the fact that we've got a high density within the racks. And what we're doing is we're operating that on Lenovo hardware to provide as a consistent model and to support the OpEx that the client want from a managed service from Trust Cloud. Benefit of using the Nutanix hypervisor is that it can operate across all these environments. So the client might already have Nutanix. If they don't, we could still move the VMs, but we can have Nutanix hypervisor operating in the existing environment, the source environment. We use it for efficiency of management and provisioning within our own cloud, and it's also supported in the public cloud on bare metal. What that allows us to do is to provide a consistent experience across the whole cloud journey, to be able to run workloads and move workloads up and down the stack. So if you might try to run a workload in public cloud, find out it's more expensive than it was in private cloud, you can move that one back. But the consistent hypervisor experience end to end allows us to manage that fluidly. If there's any more questions, quite like to hear from you. And also we're offering a free trial to allow you to test Trust Cloud on a proof of concept basis. Typically we operate that on a 2 to 4 week basis. It allows you to see how the environment operates with some test data and some test applications, and overlay any concerns that you might have and how those applications run, either for your remote workforce or your branch networks, or in order to access and coexist with your existing public cloud environments. So we're quite happy to follow that up. Typically, the proof of concept then leads us into the transformation and the migration considerations for the broader workload, and to support the client with the cloud migration strategy.